Let's discuss budget constraint. Let's say you want to go to the mall, and let's say you go to a certain store, and you saw something, a product, and then you really like the product. However, when you look into your pocket, your money is not enough to buy that certain product that you like. And then you go to another store. You saw two products, let's say product X and product Y. And then you have seen the price of both products, and you look into your pocket, and then you realize you can afford it. However, you can only buy certain quantity of product X and certain quantity of product Y. So in that case, you are being confronted with what you call the budget constraint. So I think every one of us, every person on this planet is confronted by a budget constraint. We cannot have it all. That's why we have the problem of scarcity, because our wants are unlimited, but we have limited resources. And in this case, we have a limited budget. So that's why you are going to make a sound decision, and you have to make a good choice for you to be satisfied and to get that higher level of utility. Later on, we will discuss about utility or the level of satisfaction. So in this example, your budget constraint is actually expressed mathematically as budget equals price of X, or the PX, times the quantity of X plus the price of Y times the quantity of Y, assuming there are only two goods involved. So in our example, you have product X and product Y. So assuming that the price of product X is 10 pesos and the price of good Y or product Y is 20 pesos, and your budget is 100 pesos. Question: what if you spend all your budget into buying product X? So that would be 0 for product Y. How many quantity of product X can you buy? So it's very simple. However, we're going to use the formula since we already have it here. Okay? So let's do this. Budget is 100. So product X and then product Y. In our example, we are going to spend everything on product X. So we let Y be equal to 0. So the price of X is 10. 10x. So the quantity is, what do you call this one? The quantity here is missing. So we say 10qx plus, since this is already 0, plus 0, so 10qx is equal to 100. You do the math. Divide both sides of the equation by 10 to cancel this. Okay? So 100 divided by 10, that is 10. So the quantity of X that you can buy using your budget is 10 if you let your Y to be 0. Did you get it? Now, question. How many quantity of good Y can you buy if you only spend, let's say you bought 5 good X? So how many quantity of good Y will you be able to buy if you spend 5, or if you bought 5 of good X, 5 units of good X? So we will use the formula, okay? So 100, that's your total budget, Px, Qx plus Py times Qy. So in your example, 5 good X, so 100 equals to, what's the price of good X? 10. 10. And then 5, right? The quantity, so 10 times 5. Plus Py, the price of Py is 20. but this is the question. So this is the missing one. So 10, 20 QY. So I don't know if we can just simply move it here. So 100 equals 10 times 5, that is 50, of course, plus 20 QY. So you do the math, you transpose 50 to the left side of the equation. So 100, this is positive, it will become now negative. 100 minus 50 equals 20 QY. So the answer here is 50 equals 20 QY. So you do the math again. Divide both sides of the equation by 20 to get the QY. So what's the answer? Cancel, cancel. 50 divided by 20, so I think that is 2.5. And that's for your QY. Let's check if this is correct. So, how do we do this? 100 equals Px, Qx plus Py times Qy. Okay, 100 equals Px. So the price of x is 10. The quantity is 5 times 5 plus y, Py, 20 times, what's the answer here? 2.5. Okay, so 100 equals, this is 50 plus 20 times 2.5. That is 50, right? Follow? So 100 plus 100, so this is correct. So the combination now of good x and good y given with this problem is 5 good x here, 5 good x and 2.5 good y. So your turn. How many quantity of good x can someone buy or can someone afford if that person spends or bought 4 good y? You solve using the same equation.